credited.
Morning.
Good morning.
One morning to everyone. Shortly we will call this annual general meeting to session. I will encourage each and every one of us present in this hall to sit and settle down.
Empty, okay.
We are welcoming our distinguished guests. Welcome. Please sit. Please sit. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege investing in nurses and midwives. We are honored today to have various dignitaries with us, and I am delighted to invite and or recognize some of the dignitaries to the high table. Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise up to receive the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Mrs. Presidentbio, and the Honorable Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation. Let us remain standing as we recite the national pledge. I pledge my love and loyalty to my country, Sierra Leone. I vow to serve her faithfully at all times. I promise to defend her honor and good name, always for her unity, peace, freedom, and prosperity, and put her interests above all else. So help me God. So help me God. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, we will continue to invite some of the dignitaries to join Her Excellency the First Lady to the high table. I have the honor to call upon our chief, the Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, Madam Mary Mama Kula, to the high table. Thank you very much. The host paramount chief is here with us. We are honored by your presence, sir. Please proceed to the high table. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery, we also have another important and very impactful college in this country, the Sierra Leone Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery. And that college is led by no less a person but the president, Mrs. Amelia Eva Gaba. Please proceed to the high table. Thank you, thank you. Without wasting much time, I will call on the chairman of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing Sierra Leone chapter to please proceed to the high table. You are welcome, Madam Margaret James. We are also honored by the presence of our partners, our health development partners. On that note, I would like to invite somebody who is representing World Health Organization, who is no less a person, but a humble midwife, Frida Bag from WHO. You are welcome to the high table. We are also privileged to invite somebody who is in charge of this city. Without his permission, we will not have been here today. Please join me as we welcome to the high table the mayor of Kenema City. Thank you. We are honored by so many dignitaries here this morning, and we are delighted. We have here the chairman of the district council. You are already here. Thank you. Welcome, sir. We have the chairman of Paramount Chiefs. Somebody introduced himself here as council. Yeah, council of Paramount Chiefs. You are highly recognized. Please sit. The chief administrator. Let's put our hands together. Or his representative. If you are here, you are welcome. Thank you very much. We will continue to recognize our dignitaries, but we cannot wait to start this August occasion. I will now call on Sheikh Kombat Dauda to kindly come forward to lead us in the Muslim prayers.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والسلام على عباد الذين اصطفى اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وإليك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام اللهم لك الحمد أنت الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا صالحا متقبلا لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير الحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Thank you very much. The Apostle Ansumana Kesaidu is here to lead us in the Christian prayers. Please, you're welcome to give us the Christian prayers.
Shall we please rise up to reverence the presence of our God? And let us pray. Eternal God, we are so grateful for making this gathering to be here this morning. It is in your word to us that the heart desire of a man is in his hand, and the answer thereof is in your own hand, God. And therefore he said, let us commit our ways into your hands, and you will establish it. I stand as a servant of God. I commit, Lord, this annual meeting session into your hands, as they are here, Lord, to impact the nurses and the midwives in this nation. I pray that, Father, you will guide and direct everything. I commit, Lord, the chairperson that is leading this occasion. May you, Lord, guide her or guide him to direct everything. I pray and commit our First Lady into your hands. As she has traveled safely, we pray that you take her back safely. I commit our nation, Sierra Leone, into your hands. We get the first peace, 2002. I pray that that peace will continue in this nation. Anyone that will dare to distort our peace, God, I pray that you expose that person openly in the name of Jesus. I commit every one of us here in this place, all the dignitaries, them, every one of us, Father, I pray that you will guide us. May you direct everything that we are going to do. In the name of Jesus, I pray.
Amen. Please be seated, because we are guided by the presence of the Almighty God. We will continue to recognize our distinguished guests, but let me quickly recognize the presence of some of the fellows, and I would like to recognize the Registrar of the Nurses and Midwives Board, Mrs. Christiana Marcelli. We welcome the Deputy Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, Madam Amber Coker, and the Deputy Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer to Madam Safula Mansari. When we talk about nursing and midwifery, apart from the rest of the fellows and nurses and midwives in this country, these people sit at policy level. We are honored again by your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody is going to steer the ship, and we would like to know that person. On that note, may I invite a fellow, Madam Josephine Genocido, to introduce and present the chairman of this August occasion. Immediately after the introduction, we will have the chairman of this event to take the podium. Thank you very much.
Madam First Lady, Hello, Dr. Fatima Mada Jabi Dio, our Deputy Minister, Mrs. Princess Duba, the Resident Minister, Paramount Chief Sadiq Akua, the Mayor Kenema City Council, our husband, the District Council Chairman, the District Council Chairman, Mr. Mohamed A. Sisek Elias Olebu, the PS, SDO, Madam PP, normally we call it past president of the College of Nursing and Midwifery, West Africa College of Nursing and Midwifery, and presently President, College of Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery, our able chairman, Madam Margaret James, the Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, Madam Mary Mamako Augusta Fula, the Registrar of Nursing, Mrs. Christiana Benu Masale, our distinguished guests, Christians, Muslims, non-believers, students, senior nurses, fellow, all dignitaries, all allied and medical sciences present by profession. He holds a PhD degree from the School of Hygiene, London, MPH, and BSc in the College of Medicine. He also has several certificates, both national and international. He is a professional nurse, as I said, a fellow of the college, very senior lecturer at the Jala University. He was an infection and control coordinator during the Ebola outbreak. Upon his return from the international assignment at South Sudan, he was appointed by the president of this nation, His Excellency, our president, your president, Mr. Mada Julius Bio, doctor of the nation, and a very professional in his own right in the country. Mr. Chairman of this program is present day the principal of the School of Nursing, Matru, where the president hail from district. He is present day the interim president of Sierra Nurses Association. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you a man who is going to chair this program. He is no less a person, but a very great doctor, Lawrence Sao Babao. He is our president. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a very good day.
Let me thank Sister Dennis Aidu for that brilliant instruction. Before I actually start to do the function for which I was introduced, you heard her say that I'm a principal of the Matthew School of Nursing, where the president comes from. So we are the stakeholders of this country. We are the Thank you. Our First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Fatima Mada Jabibio, distinguished invited guests, our fellow who are here, and all the protocols observed. I want to start this function by first and foremost recognizing the presence of our First Lady. Those of you who might not know, the First Lady is also a fellow of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing. She has always received nursing issues, nursing activities with open hands. And therefore, we are grateful that she is spared every other engagement to be here with us this morning, and we are very grateful for that. On a special note also, I want to recognize the presence of the Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation, Mrs. President, who is also here to grace this occasion. She's also a nurse, and she's very proud to be a nurse. In fact, she went to school with this time. Those of you who want to know, HRS. Having said that, I want to come to the issue of the day. And that is the AGM, the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery Annual General Meeting. First and foremost, we would like to know what is an AGM. As the name implies, AGM is the annual general meeting
of the West African College of Nurses. And the AGM is a time when professional nurses like us come together to look at the issues that we have set ourselves for the last year. How far were we able to accomplish some of those things that we said we were going to accomplish? And how far we are not able to accomplish some of those activities that we set ourselves for. So, when we gather here also in the AGM, it is a time for introspection, basically. We look at ourselves. We bring together on the table the fine research development that we have kind of uncovered and share some of those fine development trajectories. That's why we are here. So as the day progresses, we are going to be seeing a lot of things happening. And we have admonished all of you to listen keenly to the speakers. They have a lot of things to tell us. So, having said that, I will come to the agenda as it is set. I want to call on the first gentleman of this kingdom, Paramount Chief Sadiq M. Kapua Mato IV, to give us his welcome address.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam First Lady, Her Excellency, Dr. Fatima Jabi Pio, the Chairman of Kenema District Council, Mayor of Kenema City Council, Fellows of the West African College of Nursing and Midwifery, members of the high table, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I should really be giving a welcome address. But permit me, Madam President, Madam President, if I say something which is not really welcome, as the word may be. What I want to say is that we in Kenema are particularly proud and happy to be part of this meeting today. As a chiefdom, Mangwa is now coming of age. We are witnessing meetings by midwives in Kenema. We have also been part of the meetings of teachers, medical doctors, and some other important personalities this country has grown. I know Kenema is now showing itself in the scheme of things in this country. As we may all know, midwifery is a subfield of the healthcare professions that deals with providing services for pregnant women, new mothers, and their infants. In Kenema, we believe in this sector of workers and the nurses. This is why we are at this meeting today. We respect their advices and think they are very important to our being parents, and pray that God gives them the guidance, the patience and courage to continue to work for us. It is for reasons of this nature that we admire and respect them. Kenema will be on record to have the best midwifery school in this country. The downside, however, is the fact that most of those in the lower ranks are fighting with the problem of salary, the issue of lack of being code. May I, Madam President, I would say, appeal to you, and the minister is here also, okay? Appeal to you to make it possible for them to have a bit of fresh air in the new year. I will say, thank you for giving me this chance, and I wish wish you all well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our most honored Paramount Chief, Sadiq Kapua Mato Difo. I will respectfully ask that those who will be asked to speak stay in their seats and so we'll pass the mic around. So we had Chief Kapua, of course, underscoring the important role that nurses play in this part of the country. You all heard him, and he has expressed his gratitude to nurses for the patience and the care they give to the numerous patients and clients they come in contact. Thank you very much, Chief Kapua. I now have the distinguished honor and privilege to call upon one of us. When I talk of one of us, is one of those very elderly nurses who has a bastion of knowledge as when it comes to nursing issues. She has tremendous experience, enormous experience, and she's here to make a statement, a welcome statement on behalf of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing, Sierraleone chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to invite Mrs. Margaret James, the chairman of the West African College of Nursing, Sierraleone chapter, to make her statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your Excellency, our First Lady of our beloved country, Sierra Leone, our #1 dear fellow of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing, and midwifery, Dr. Mrs. Fatlawa Javid. Our chief host, we just heard him, the Paramount Chief of #1 Chiefdom, the Deputy, our wonderful and able Deputy Minister of Health, the Chief Medical Officer in absentia, the Mayor, Kenema City, the Chairperson, the Kenema District Council, representative of our development partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellows. I bring you all warm greetings from the Executive, the International Council of the West African College of Nursing, and the President. On behalf of the West African College of Nursing, Sierraleone chapter, I extend hearty welcome to you all to this AGM 2022, the annual general meeting of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery. Unfortunately, this is supposed to be an annual event, but we were not able to host it in 2021. But thank God we are here, and it's going to be a good one. Thank you very much. God has brought us this far, and it hasn't been easy, but we thank Him. Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the WPCNN regional and as well as the Sierraleone chapter to congratulate you on your many accomplishments and awards. Several, but not limited. And #1, the honorary doctoral degree that you so earned. The African Woman of the Year 2022. These are by no means small accomplishments. WAPCNN and Sierra Leone, we continue to be proud of you. The West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery was previously known as West African College of Nursing. It is a specialized agency of the West African Health Organization, WAHO. We have other sister colleges the physicians and surgeons, we have the pharmacists, and WAPCNM is another. It is a professional, it's a high, very high, in fact, it's the highest professional nursing and midwifery body in the sub-region. When you get there, you go to the pinnacle of your profession. So I just want to motivate our colleagues here this morning for them to be motivated. When you get, once again I say, when you get to that, you are at the pinnacle of your profession. That does not mean you cannot go higher. This body was inaugurated in Banjul, the Gambia, April 14, 1981, by the then Gambia Health Minister and 4 other sub-member countries in the sub-region. That was Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria. Currently, we have about 5 Anglophone and 3 Francophone countries. The membership as of now is well over 2,000. That is for the 8 countries. Sierra Leone membership is about 104. So that tells you the quality of professionals that we look for to join the WACN. It's not an easy thing, but I know it's not unsurmountable. The mission of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery is to promote excellence in nursing and midwifery education and practice. The main objectives for us to promote excellence in nursing education at the basic and post-basic levels. 2 is to maintain high serves as a prelude to what we call the biennial general meeting, BGL, which is done every 2 years on rotational basis. That is per country. Every 2 years, one country hosts the biennial general meeting. A report of this AGM will be presented to that body. And they will be able to scrutinize you as a country as to what you have been able to accomplish based on the objectives and the mission. So that we don't just sit here and say we are members of WACN. We have to accomplish. That is where you show it, you exhibit, you display. That is the purpose. Now, the AGM is very critical. Like Mr. Chair just said this morning, we share, we research, we share ideas, we share information, we share a lot of professional ideas with the fellows as well as partners, as well as other nurses who are not fellows. It's very critical. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, the theme for this AGM, as you probably have seen, is the universal coverage, that is UHC, investing in nurses and midwives. The theme is quite appropriate and timely. It lends credence to the importance that the government and the country firmly attaches to providing adequate quality health care services to all citizens, irrespective of your status. I will say that again. The theme, we believe and trust, is quite appropriate and timely because it lends credence to the importance the government and the country firmly attaches to promoting health, to promoting services to the nation at all costs, irrespective of your status. This is manifested, or we can see this, of development or establishment of a special unit in the Ministry of Health for quality assurance. And this one is headed by a very senior fellow who is here today with us. The quality assurance unit is to make sure that the services we are going to provide during this universal health coverage is going to be critical. We are going to assess and know the quality of it. We're not just going to say, anything goes. No, that is not the idea. Thank you. I must be quick to say it is not all rosy. Those of you who have worked or we have lived in the UK and other developed countries, we know healthcare service providing. Quality one is not easy. The UK is a testimony. We all admire the UK, the National Health Service. We all admire, but we know the inherent problems with the National Health Service of the UK. The Minister of Health in Sierra Leone is working tirelessly to surmount some of these problems and challenges to ensure that its desired goal for the universal health coverage is achieved. Investing in nurses, I wouldn't want to say much because we say, what do we say? Seeing is believing. I'm sure a good number of us sitting here will not have been here if government or other partners had not invested in us. So investing in nurses, the implication. If we are not invested in, where will most of us have been? I leave it to you to judge. We will continue to engage and encourage the government and development partners to seriously continue this investment in nurses and midwives. If we are able, or we are going to be able to accomplish a better health outcome, as it says here. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, once again, I want to welcome everybody. You are highly welcome to this annual general meeting of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for your welcome address. We were told, distinguished chairperson of the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing, the essence of an AGM like ours. She's clearly told us that. She also went ahead to say that the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing is the highest professional nursing organization in the sub-region. And for those of you who are not yet members of, or who are not yet fellows, or aspiring fellows, you have to respect these your senior colleagues who are here. In fact, when you become a fellow, you are now at the level of a consultant. That's what you are. You can ask Sister Frances Fauna, for example, she will tell you. She briefly spoke about the theme of this gathering, this AGM, which is universal health coverage, and the critical role that nurses will play if adequate investment is done in that profession. So, having said that, I will now go to the next agenda item, which is statements from various people. But I want to kindly, respectfully ask that considering the very busy schedule of our First Lady, you don't have to be in the First Lady's office to know that she's busy. And I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate anyway. So I will respectfully say that those who will be coming to say make statement, make it very short, so that we can have adequate time, can give adequate time to our First Lady to get home in time and rest. We need her more around. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's part of your role. Thank you. So I have the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to call on the first gentlewoman of the nursing profession in this country. And that is no less a person than the Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, Matron Mary Manakoku, to make our statement. Thank you very much. Okay, yes, okay. Thank you. You see, nurses do it differently. She doesn't want to stand while the First Lady is sitting. She wants to go away somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Her Excellency, Madam First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, First Fellow Dr. Mrs. Fatima Jabi Maharabio. That's our grandpa. Our dynamic Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation, she's always up and about. Ministry officials around, the Mayor of Kenema City, representatives of Kenema Municipality and the District Council, host paramount chiefs and other chiefs here present, UN family, non-governmental organizations, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on existing protocol to make a statement on behalf of nursing and midwifery professionals. As the chief nurse in this country and chair of the Nurses and Midwives Board, I'm excited today to stand here and make a statement on this opening ceremony with the theme, Universal Health Coverage, Investing in Nurses and Midwives. Heavily investing on nurses and midwives. Mr. Chair, distinguished guests, the role of nurses and midwives in achieving universal health coverage cannot be overemphasized. Without them, there is no universal health coverage. Nurses and midwives make up about 70 to 80% of the total health workforce in Sierra Leone. And evidence has shown that a well-educated nurse and midwife, regulated to work in a functional health system, can make a huge difference in yielding better health care in any country. If countries like ours are to meet UHC, nursing and midwifery leaders need to be explicitly involved in shaping policy at the highest level of government decision making. Madam First Lady, honorable guests, I can proudly say that a lot has been achieved at policy level, regulation level, educational level, and service delivery level. At policy level, nurses and midwives leaders can now influence policy and decision making in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. And to tell you, more pin codes have been given to nurses than any other cadre in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. About 4,000 last year were given to only nurses. And we say thanks to His Excellency for considering the nurses and midwives of this country. At policy level, we have developed what we call the Continuous Professional Development Framework for maintaining and improving the competencies of our health workforce, especially nurses and midwives. We are planning to revise the nursing and midwifery strategic document next year. We have developed an internship program for newly graduated nurses and midwives to improve on their competencies in their workplace. We will be approaching government, definitely, health developing partners, and others to support for implementation of our policies. At educational level, we have revised and harmonized all RN curricula in the country, so everybody is using that curricula starting from now. We are in the process of establishing a new midwifery training school in Kenema, as we had just now, and this year we will complete that process. In addition, we'll be launching the direct entry program into midwifery on the 19th of October 2022. We want to increase on the number of midwives in the country to ensure that every birth in this country is attended by a skilled caregiver. At the regulatory level, we have moved forward the Nurses and Midwives Act, our legal and professional document, for presentation in Parliament, the Minister of Health and Sanitation. And we beg, Madam, after this presentation, I would just like the the contractors to show us what we have in mind and what it will look like. The plot of land is an acre of land, and at Lunge, we will be near the new airport that is now coming up. So nurses, let's have it and make sure it's at service delivery level, we have influenced the training of matrons and senior nurses and leadership. We have also developed maternal and child health handbook. And we need support for the implementation of this book this year. We need to train all our nurses and midwives on this handbook. We need also to print a number of this handbook for all the pregnant women in this country, so that all our under-5s in the next 5 years will use this book for registration in their primary schools, in their preschool. The directorate has been able to achieve this through collaboration with health development partners. I must therefore recognize WHO, UNFPA, JICA, SEED Global, CHAMS, UNICEF to maintain but few for their respectful support to the directorate and the nurses and midwives board of this country. Mr. Chair, Madam First Lady, distinguished guests, there is no success without challenges. We have a mountain of challenges. Looking forward, the nursing and midwifery leadership is looking forward to implementing its strategic document. Yesterday at the meeting, we started the discussions on identifying the gaps and barriers to achieving the UHC. This includes, but not limited to, the following: inadequate staffing at the directorate level where decisions are taken. There are only 3 people in that directorate. We need more people to work with us. The working environment for all of us, not only the directorate, for all the nurses and midwives right around the country. Support of the postgraduate training for nurses. Now we have our postgraduate college, but we need support to even start. Even the faculty to start, we need support for the training of the faculty members. And we need help for that. We want to start this year. Inadequate space for the operation of the board that regulates everybody here, all the nurses in this country. Therefore, we have a plan, and it's already costed, and we are going to sell it out. Today is a marketing day. Thank you for being here. In conclusion, the Directorate of Nursing and Midwifery Services remains to be one of the strongest directorates in terms of human resources in service delivery at all service delivery points, even at Mandu, Ipsolima. You go to Yereboya, we are there, nurses and midwives. So let's clap for ourselves. We should therefore continue to strengthen the nursing and midwifery workforce for the achievement of the universal health coverage. The maternal and child health handbook, Her Excellency, is a quality tool developed by this directorate that will facilitate reaching out to all mothers and children in this country. I promise on behalf of my colleagues, nurses and midwives, to do our utmost best to reach all the people of this country, leaving no one behind. Whether you are in the provinces, at village level, or in the city, no matter your religion or your tribe, we are all born in this country, and we as nurses and midwives, we pledge to serve you all. May God bless us all.
Thank you very much. The number one of the nursing profession is SLPP. The nursing and midwifery profession is SLPP. Again, we have our chief nursing and midwifery officer emphasizing on the important role that nurses play if universal health coverage were to succeed. Yes. So, the important role that nurses have to play if universal health coverage were to succeed. She also emphasized that about 70% of the workforce in this country constitute of nursing. I mean, the health force constitute of nursing. And that is no small thing at all. So, she highlighted a couple of achievements. But of course, achievement go alongside challenges equally. We all had that. And we will appeal to the Deputy Minister. We are not passing it to the First Lady at all. Deputy Minister is there. That is actually our own domain, to take note of these challenges and try or continue to help to surmount them. Thank you. So we will now look at the project. This is a very ambitious project that the nursing profession wants to do. It's secretariat. There is a 1 acre land now secured at Lungi, and we want to put up a very mighty building here. Very mighty structure. So we just want to draw your patience for 1 or 2 minutes to look at it, and then we'll continue.
Good afternoon all. This is an animation of the entire project. We are looking at the whole scaping of the whole project at Lungi. So this will be the administrative building that will host the registrar, the chief nurse, and other staffs. And on this other end, it will be the canteen and relaxation that will create pleasure and relaxation center for every nurse after so much of class, exhausting. This will be the environment and all. This will be the lodge or hostel that will host up to 60 rooms for every nurse, or whenever there is an annual meeting that will help every senior staff and nurse to be within the property of the midwives Sierra Leone. Okay. So far, we've started declaring of the sites on chief registrar and other members of the board of midwives Sierra Leone visited during the process, and construction is about to start soon. And yeah. Yeah, we are now clearing the land. Yeah, this is the store that will host every material we'll be using on site for safekeeping and to ensure we have all of our workers on site to work to achieve this as fast as possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, all of us who are fellows have seen it. This is a serious project, and it requires the support of all of us. So we should be thinking, we who are going all over the place saying we are fellows, we should be thinking as to how we are going to personally contribute to the realization of this dream. We shouldn't be putting everything on government. Government has to see us moving also. They say, when they crack your back, you say for put water. It's a give and take thing. We know the government will do the bulk of it, but we should be saying also to be contributing. Those of you who are not yet fellows, or who are nurses who belong to the profession, we should be thinking along that line now. Having said that, I want to now invite the president of the Sierra Leone Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery Madam Amelia Riva Gaba to make her statement.
Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Chairman, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Fatima Madabio, fellow, Honorable Deputy Minister of Health, Mrs. Princess Duba, Paramount Chief of Nongowa Chiefdom, Mayor of Kenema City, Chairman of District Council, Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, Chairman, West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery, representative of the UN family, the WHO rep, fellows, colleagues, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. I bring you greetings from the SLPP Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery, and also from the WACN, Secretariat. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this August occasion at Nongowa Chiefdom in the Kenema District. We want to thank God for safe traveling masses, and we pray that He will take us back safe to our various destinations at the end of the 3 days program. I want to particularly welcome you all to Kenema District because I was 25 years ago District Head Sister for Kenema District. From 1987 to 1994, I was the District Head Sister of this district. And I tell you, it was because we were displaced by the war, but I actually enjoyed my work in Kenema District, especially staying in Nongowa Chiefdom. And I want to assure you, to inform you, that I slept in all the Chiefdom headquarter towns of this district, in all the section headquarter towns, and it used to be 2 weeks in the district, we used to say, and 2 weeks in the communities. Especially when we were fighting for the universal immunization coverage. With support from UNICEF, it was so interesting. And we enjoyed nursing at that time. And I want to say that it's great pleasure that I'm back today at Nongowa Chiefdom. Nurses and midwives, we have a broad range of responsibilities and contributions to health systems, and as key front health workers, we have critical roles to play in efforts to achieve the universal health coverage. In particular, nurses ensure high-quality health care, engage in health promotion and health patient safety. So the team, universal health coverage, investing in nurses and midwives for better health outcomes, is very much a imbalances in health workforce continue to hamper progress with large numbers of skilled health professionals who migrate from lower to high income countries, thereby adding to the challenge of managing the supply of health workers in the low income countries. Many countries from sub-Saharan Africa have an acute shortage of health workers, including key frontline health workers such as nurses, midwives, and community health workers. However, as part of health workforce development, scaling up health workers' education and training is important. According to ICN, these were commitments during the second and the third Global Forum on Human Resource for Health, which was reinforced more recently at the fourth Global Forum, to scale up health workers' education and training as part of health system strengthening, which are necessary in order to achieve better outcomes with adequate numbers and the right quality of healthcare workers especially within sub-Saharan Africa, including Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone today, there are health training institutions which are owned and managed by the government through the universities such as College of Medicine and Jala University, etc., and also with private institutions. These organizations or institutions offer the Bachelors of Nursing undergraduate programs for nursing professionals, including masters, but postgraduate programs which are very important for memberships, consultants, and fellowships are still grappling to fully take off. That is why I was so happy and so delighted when the Chief Nursing Officer mentioned that they need support for the postgraduate studies to take off in this year. The government started with a laudable program for the postgraduate studies in Sierra Leone by bringing all the disciplines together under one council. And we all know it was launched last year. But this is having constraints to take the holistic approach to implement the postgraduate trainings. And so, the Sierra Leone Postgraduate College for Nursing and Midwifery is yet in the process of starting the postgraduate trainings. Colleagues, this initial training have to be properly planned with funding available to ensure sustainability of the trainings in the college. We cannot just start like that. We have to ensure sustainability. We are grateful to the Minister of Health and Sanitation and his technical team in the Ministry of Health. They are fighting hard to support the college by allocating donor funding for the college to start soon. Can't you give them an round of applause? We all, government, civil society, health professionals, and all of us together have a responsibility to promote nursing in this country. The Nursing Now campaign has been a great support in raising the profile of nurses in policy areas and promoting leadership among nurses. Today, we are happy that we have nurses who are being recognized in the policy areas, and also they are promoting leadership in the Health Ministry of Health. Now, with the postgraduate training and advanced practices, we know our nurses will soon be able to diagnose, to prescribe, and to treat patients. It's not widely understood that nurses are educated to degree, master's, PhD, and fellowship levels. Especially in this country, sometimes nursing is the last that people will think of when they have not been able to enter into the universities. They do not understand that nurses can be educated to degree, to master's, PhD, and fellowship levels. We have to communicate this to people in our communities, in our societies. In many countries around the world, nurses are doing extraordinary work to treat patients, and they have autonomy. The civil society, even our own partners in healthcare, probably do not understand or recognize the important work that nurses do. Some years back, I had the opportunity as president of the West African College of Nursing then, which is now the West African Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery, to attend an annual general meeting of the West African Postgraduate College. And only the visiting professor at that meeting from the University College Hospital Ibadan, and the then chief medical officer, Dr. Brian Makago, mentioned nurses in their presentations. Only two. There were so many presentations on that day, but only that visiting professor from University College Hospital Ibadan and the chief medical officer of the Ministry of Health and Sanitation then mentioned nurses in their presentations. And in my comments to them at the end of the presentations, I told them that we always fail in our service delivery because we fail to recognize the important role of our colleagues and partners in the service. For example, I told them, a surgeon can go in there and do a 6-hour operation and say it was a successful operation and hand over the patient to the nurse. 6 to 24 hours, they lost the patient. because they did not prepare the other level where they were going to send their patient. And these are people who are 24/7 always having hands on deck in the profession. So we have to recognize the importance of partnership. We have to have teamwork. We have to know that we cannot do it alone. And we have to know our limits so that we can work with doctors, we can work with pharmacists, we can work with partners, and know that everybody is important in this service. It has been said that when you save a life, you are a hero. And when you save 100 lives, you are a nurse. Did you get that? Yes. When you save a life, you are a hero. But when you save 100 lives, you are a nurse. This means we have a great role to play for us to meaningfully contribute to this great venture of Florence Nightingale, even in this 21st century and beyond. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Fatima Presidentbio, all protocols respectfully observed. We have gathered together as a professional body to go through presentations and scientific sessions on the theme universal health coverage, investing in nurses and midwives for better health outcomes. I'm appealing to colleagues. Work together in the interest, because at this time of the year, we know everybody is so busy.
Let's give her another round of applause. You see, I said it earlier, she has it all. All the villages, the children, headquarter towns in this. So she's really about to test it, like they will say. That's all the experience. We also had her emphasizing the need for the investment in nursing and midwifery if universal health coverage were to succeed. That cannot be overemphasized. He briefly touched on the efforts that have been made to improve nursing education at undergraduate level. But more importantly, she told us about the efforts that are now being made to do nursing education at postgraduate level, and therefore the Sierra Postgraduate College of Nursing and Midwifery has been established, and it will take off very soon. Now, before we go to the next speaker, I want to inform this gathering that the West Africa Postgraduate College of Nursing has faculties. And I want just to go through those faculties for those who might not be aware. We have the maternal and child health faculty, that's known myself. You can stand up, please. Those who are in the maternal and child health faculty. Thank you very much. We have the community health faculty, to which I belong. Thank you. You can sit down, please. We also have the medical surgical nursing faculty. Thank you. We have the faculty of mental health. And then, last but not least, by any means, the faculty of administration, management, and education. Okay. Thank you. You may have your seat. And ladies and gentlemen, let me also inform you that the First Lady, our First Lady belongs to all those faculties. And also Mrs. Eva Gaba also belongs to all those faculties. So you see how powerful the First Lady is. Thank you very much. We now go to the next speaker, and I have the pleasure to call upon one of the representative of one of our partners. Those who give us succor when it becomes difficult. When or the representative of the World Health Organization to make a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First Lady of Excellence of the Sierra Leone. Exactly, I need just to start when I got invited to this high table, Principal Marquette said she's a person, and this person is a little bit nervous. So let me continue. Deputy Minister of Health. Chief Medical Officers Representative. Chief Nurses and Medical Officer. Host Paramount Chief. Mayor of Kenema City. Representative of the residents minister. And distinctive invited guests at the high table. Ladies and gentlemen, nurses and midwives. As a UN family representative, I'm honored to be invited and to speak briefly in front of you in this important event of annual Nursing Midwifery Conference. But I want to turn a little bit to nurses and midwives of Sierra Leone. I want to greet you all for your effort for the people, for everything you do for the Sierra Leone people. You need to know that you are one of the greatest pillars of which the whole country leans. Together, you are the majority of the healthcare personnel in the country. But it's always a but. To be a minority, but also to be a midwife and a nurse, comes with a big responsibility. What you choose or not choose to do makes a big impact in Sierra Leone health statistics. So I urge you to do your best for the families, for the mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers of Sierra Leone. UN family has supported Sierra Leone healthcare system for a very long time. And together we have come far. Now we have tools and measures to reduce and prevent sickness, mobility, and mortality. We have evidence-based policies, strategies, guidelines, standards, best practice. We need to ensure that those tools now are getting used to transform the health service and save lives. So what we need to do now is to implement. So nurses and midwives of Sierra Leone, we need your commitment to protect the people of Sierra Leone and to use these tools. Investing in nursing midwifery and nursing is a good value for money. According to the report from UN High-Level Commission on Health, Employment and Economic Growth, they concluded that investing in education and job creations in the health and social sector results in triple returns. 3 times. And the areas that are improved is the health outcomes, global health security, and economic growth. As I conclude my remarks, I want to underscore the following key messages. Invest in nursing midwifery education and practice is a key strategy to achieve the SDG targets. We need to transform the educations to international standards, and to do so we must bring nurses and midwives to the tables where the decisions are made. We need to promote nursing nurses and midwifery leadership. We need to scale up the development and employment of skilled personnel and increase the numbers to ensure that we are equal employed in the urban and rural areas. We also need to ensure that they are staying in the public health system. We need to invest in equipment, medicals, and supplies to able to health facilities provide quality health care. We also must force an engagement of stakeholders, both national and international, and ensure that they support the strategy plan of education and leadership. As I conclude my remark today, it's time not only to celebrate the nurses and midwives, but also to ensure the safe workplace for nurses and midwives, and to invest in their education and training. And all that means a leadership from nurses and midwives for nurses and midwives. We need to do this together, for together we can improve quality of care and reduce sickness, mortality, and mobility. Together we will achieve the SDG targets. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Our representative from the WHO. You see, every speaker that have come up to say something has, without any doubt, emphasize the important role of nurses if the universal health coverage should succeed. In fact, investing in nursing, as you heard us say, is one of the Sustainable Development Goals targets. So it is not, we are not doing it just because we want to do it. It's also a target for Sustainable Development Goals. So we have to invest. In fact, we have no reason not to do so. So I would like now, ladies and gentlemen, to call on the District Council Chairman of Kenema District, Mr. Mohamed Olefuse. Mr. Mohamed Olefuse, the District Council Chairman, so we'll listen to him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Fatima Jabibio, the Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation, my revered paramount chiefs, His Worship the Mayor of the municipality, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of Fourth Estate, good afternoon. I think when I was invited to this AGM, I asked myself, what do I have to say? But having listened attentively to various speakers and getting the background of what AGM means, I came to the realization that when we say annual general meeting, is where we do promoting on our successes and challenges and mark the way forward. And having listened again, I now know that if we want to have universal health coverage for all of us in Sierra Leone, there should be synergy in the various cadres in the nursing profession. We as politicians will not say so much, but just to say thank you to the nurses, midwives, our doctors, and everybody who is in the medical field for the support you've accorded the new direction. When the COVID-19 broke out, we saw the relentless effort and support your calling to save lives in Sierra Leone. No amount of money will be able to give to you for the lives you've saved, but to just say thank you and give you a tap at the back. Her Excellency, the Deputy Minister of Health, I want to bring to your attention that for us in Kerema District, the nurses, we have so many challenges as they've explained before, ranging from recruitment, postings, as the case may be. But I equally want to bring to your decks that all partners in Kerema are very supportive. When we call on them, they are almost always, their doors are almost always open. Friday, we met here in our district development coordination committee meeting. We allow all partners in the health sector to present to us, who are the politicians, what are the success stories, what are the challenges that they need the intervention of the government. And collectively, we sit together as a district to map the way forward. So I want to say a big thank you. And amidst all, we still have challenges. Our PHUs in the rural areas, some where we have quarters for our nurses. As I stand here, I equally want to bring to your notice the Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation that we have received grants from the World Bank. And having done some post-noting, we have agreed together with the staff and councillors that we want to erect a staff quarter at Upadama for our nurses. Having gone out again, I equally want to bring to your notice that I have received call from NACSA that the long-awaited MCHP post that was to be constructed at Geleo in the small boat Children, the contractor will be here tomorrow. I'll equally not waste time again to bring to your notice again that through the government of Sierra Leone, we are building one CHC with staff quarters in Kanulewema Children. Because all this while, the people behind the rivers find it difficult to access health centers. Last year in August, so many lives were lost when pregnant women were crossing to access health center. So when the Vice President came, I laid that on his table together with the Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Musa Peter Moigwa, and I want to tell you we are not doing the tiling aspect. Shortly we invite the Minister for handing over of that particular facility. So without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, Our Excellency, we just want to tell you, to reach His Excellency, that the people of Kerema are very proud of the new direction and Madabio being the president of this republic. I equally want to acknowledge, First Lady, that our party women are here in their numbers when they are that we are here. To really tell you that indeed, at any time they hear that His Excellency is here, the First Lady, no iota of doubt, Kerema is more than prepared to overwhelmingly vote for His Excellency to come back to power in 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our chairman, Mr. Chairman now became a little political. When he's a politician, though, he said that. You see, the politicians are very clever. Just in a short space of time, he has grasped what are the AGM is, what is about health coverage. So if you ask him now to go to K school, for example, to give a speech, he's going to give a brilliant speech. I can assure you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, some of us who came in last night, we enjoy the serenity of the city of Kenya. And there is a presence behind that serenity. And I want to, ladies and gentlemen, call on His Worship, the Mayor of Kenya City, His Worship, Thomas Bayon, to make his statement.
Madam First Lady, Dr. Fatima Jabi Madabio, the Deputy Minister of Health, Fourth Estate, Security, and other invitees, all nurses and branches of
health workers that are present today, our Paramount Chief, Sadiq Kapua, the District Council Chairman, and our party members, National Women's Leader of the SLPP. Good afternoon all. I want to differ a bit from all speakers. I just want to start by congratulating all of you here today. And it's a history making in Kenema today to have the AGM meeting in Kenema. And today we are proud as politicians to have various ministries pointing fingers to their own development as compared to the past. As our memory can call us far back, the Ministry of Health was pointing at roadwork in the past regime. But today we have the Health Ministry pointing at development in the various ministries. There are other things also I would like to draw as politicians. We care about our people. That's the reason why the new direction of government is not only taking education as a priority, but we have key three things, things that we are concentrating on. That is one, we think of education, health, and infrastructural development, which includes agriculture. And amongst all, I want to say we are giving priority to education and health more than any other sector in the country. For us as politicians, we deliver the goals needed for the sustainable development of any country in the world. I can probably say here today that the new direction of government is not pointing at education for road making. We are pointing to education for what is done for education. As the past system, every ministry was pointing at road maintenance, road work. But today, we have probably the agriculture minister and proud of agriculture. So therefore, on behalf of the people of Kenema, I want to proudly say thank you for this gathering today. And a request, today is the day some of us as councils, our key responsibility is development. And if we're here today, we didn't say that out to the Deputy Minister, that admin, we are doing injustice to our people. We are talking about the midwifery school, though the language itself, midwifery is an old language. It was, that those days it used to be, our mothers in the villages, they go to their own bush and then do the midwifery. That's how we consider them. But today, all of us here, you can see young, energetic women in the game. That tells you that the government is prepared to develop the human capital standard as we want it to be in our country. I will not sit down if I don't tell the minister that the midwifery school or midwifery school is yet to be considered. And it's ongoing, and the contractor is nagging me for the job. And I want you to consider that also. We cannot succeed as a set of medical team if we don't have certain facilities that are lacking. I can talk of the ambulance facilities, which they started well, and today we are finding it very difficult for our pregnant women to come to the various centers. This one is lacking. I've challenged that with the minister and then the like of other people that are in charge, but still is lacking. So I want to claim the indulgence of the chairman and the minister here so that our message can be conveyed to the minister for prompt action so that this suffering of our people can be reduced drastically. Madam First Lady, we cannot say anything here good without praising your contribution towards the development of our city and our district. You've contributed immensely towards the development of. Today is one big example you've shown us. A gathering like this with your numerous things at time to do, you are here with us. It's a clear identification or indication that you love people of Kenema and you love Kenema City. And you've done a lot, and we pray that God Almighty will keep you alive and will keep you safe. The enemies will not see you by eyes, look, or whatever way. The nurses and midwifery or midwives, we call them, I want to say thank you all, and I want to say here today that for us in Kenema, it has been a different game. Different game in the sense you deliver for us so much. We cannot continue to say thank you if we cannot recall on Ebola and, of course, the COVID-19. You did extremely well. For the loss of lives, we are here today. We pray for those that are gone, and we still continue to pray for those that are alive, that are serving us diligently. Once more, as a city father, I want to say thank you for this gathering today. I hope the AGM will yield the dividend necessary for this country. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mayor Mr. Thomas Bayo. At this point in time, I want to call on, it's one of us. It's a small man on stature, but big man in the head. And I call him the small but big man. And that is the medical superintendent of the Kenema Government Hospital, Dr. Ibrahim Akua, to make his statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Madam Dr. Madam Fatima Bill, my Honorable Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation, Madam Princess Dugan, dignitaries of the high table, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I greet you all this afternoon. Good afternoon. In my capacity here today, both as a medical superintendent and then as an acting district medical officer for Kenema, I want to use this singular opportunity to welcome you all in this great hall of Kenema City. Today is a very great day. It is a great day for several reasons. Today is the day that in this particular hall that we have the highest number of the highest and greatest brains in the nursing profession in this country. So we are very happy that the West African College of Nursing and Midwifery, and of course the professional and the postgraduate college, chose the decision to have had this very, very important AGM hosted here in Kenema today. Our theme, of course, the theme for the AGM, which everyone knows as of now, of course we all know the Ministry of Health is working towards universal health coverage. Taken from the words of the Chief Nursing Officer, Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer, it's not just investing. I also want to go to her line by heavily investing in nursing and midwifery services can only help us to achieve universal health coverage. As a doctor, we all know that everybody in the health sector, it's important. But I know and I think that in the healthcare service delivery system, the nurses are the most important. So that is why we are very much happy and working as a team to deliver the healthcare to our people. We are very much happy that for now we are having what we call the professional nursing. All doctors, you have a surgeon, physician, and what have you. Nurses used to be only general in the main line. But as we've seen here today, now we have faculties and we have specialties of nurses. This is another great thing. Yeah, so this is very much important, and we want our nurses also to be professionals. We are very much glad now that we are seeing nurses who are having their PhDs like it's everywhere else. We have fellows, so definitely for our young and younger colleagues, the other nurses, we are going to be employing you to also do as much as you possibly can. Do your best, as you always say, nurses, do it? Yes. Yes. So we want to see more qualified nurses We want to do our surgeries, our major operations, and take our patients to the wards, and we'll go home and sleep, knowing that we have professional nurses on the wards who are going to take care of those patients. So we also, on behalf of the health care family in Kenema, we want to thank the government of the Republic of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Health, the Minister, the Deputy, and their team, for putting a lot more effort, lots more emphasis on the development and improvement of nurses. So as we heard here, pay codes have been given to nurses. Just last year we had about 4,000 pay codes given only to nurses. This year, as I'm currently, the process is ongoing, we are giving another 1,000 pay codes to nurses. Yes. And we have also been informed recently that before the year ends, there's also a plan of giving another 1,000 people to nurses. So this is a development that we all, especially as nurses and healthcare workers, must embrace. Definitely, where there are successes, as has been highlighted here, there are challenges. So we are, through our ministry, to the government, we want to also keep imploring. We still have a whole lot of other nurses who are still not yet being employed. So we know that once we started this development with this government, we know it is going to be a tireless effort and it can be achieved. We also saw recently, because many a times, if you're a farmer, you go to your farm, then you need what? You need your equipment, your instruments, right? You need your cutlass, your hoe. We have been having problems, especially our nurses on the wards, having problems of diagnosing. There are no equipment, or very few of them. Recently, just in a few months, Kenema and a whole lot of other healthcare facilities in the country, across the country, through the effort of the Honorable Deputy Minister, she was here herself, and we saw equipment, medical equipment and instruments being supplied to all of these guys. In fact, our instruction was, don't keep them in the stores. As soon as I deliver them to you, make sure they reach to the wards, to the beneficiaries. And now our nurses are very much happy, Madam Minister, also to take that to the Honorable, Her Excellency, the First Lady, that we have our BP machines, we have our glucometers, we have our thermometers. So now our patients are being properly taken care of. So we want to thank you very much. I can talk hours end if I want to actually pinpoint on the importance and the development or the contribution that nurses pay or give in developing the healthcare sector. So we are very much happy today that we are having this AGM here in Kenema. We are also very much happy that our nurses, that they're moving for higher heights. And we want to employ again, the junior nurses and the other ones coming up, that we do not want general nurses anymore. We want professional nurses, and we want to work with all of them. So at this juncture, I want to only say I'm very happy. Welcome to Kenema on behalf of all the healthcare workers in Kenema. We want to welcome all of you, and we want to wish happy deliberations during the continuation of the program. And I thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Akwa Matu. Yes, that's the name. We all heard him, as he said. You see, almost every speaker that made a statement here gave some praises what the government through the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has done. At the same time, we pose a lot of challenges to them, a lot of requests. So I was wondering the absorptive capacity of my young deputy minister, whether she will be able to absorb all these things that you have said. But I know she is capable. they should be able to respond to those things. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together for the Deputy Minister of Health and Sanitation, Mrs. Presidentbio.
Mr. Chair, Her Excellency, Madam First Lady, Mrs. Fatima Mahadabio, Mayor of our great city, Kenema District, our revered Paramount Chief, representative of the District Council, the CNMO, our President, the PCNM, our esteemed fellows, nurses, are you here? Yes. Members of our great party, SLPP, are you here? Yes. Members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm greetings from the Honorable Minister of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Presidentbio, who is representing Sierra Leone at another function outside the shores. He always wanted to be here, but I think I'll represent him better because I'm a nurse. The theme universal health coverage, investing in nurses and midwives for better health outcomes. There is no timelier theme than this. When His Excellency, the President, took over the reins of power, he promised to improve health outcomes for the people of Sierra Leone. And he knew that he could not achieve this without investing in nurses. Nurses make up over 70% of the country's health workforce, and this is not a statistic that anyone can ignore. A significant and indispensable group of workforce, the nurses and midwives. To improve health outcomes, one of the first things His Excellency did was to increase the health workforce. We first employed 4,000 healthcare workers, and over 80% of those were nurses to date. The government has employed another 1,000. The process is still going on, and we're going to employ another 1,000 before the end of the year. What a good news. As I stand here today, we are making sure that that process is transparent, that who deserves to have a big pot, we get one. And this is how serious the government and His Excellency take health care. We don't take them for granted. If you mean business, you work with people who can do better, and nurses do. Therefore, we work with nurses. Nursing is a noble profession, a profession of care, a profession of warmth, a profession of love, a profession of compassion. You must be deeply compassionate if you want to be successful in your career as a nurse. We spend more time with the patients than any other professional within the healthcare system. While we care for them, we hear their personal stories and worries. We share their pains, and we rejoice with them when they gain their health. We show them love. We are nurses. We do it. Yes. Universal health coverage is when all people have access to the quality health services they need, when and where they need them without financial hardship. That is not to say health services should be free, but it means that accessing it should not impoverish the patient or client. How can we access quality and affordable health care services without nurses? That is why the Talk and Do President has invested in nurses, and we keep investing in nurses. It's all about you guys today. Quite recently, we heard of the doctor's strike and their demand for a pay increase. As urgent and legitimate as their demands were, we knew the health workforce has another crucial component, the nurses and midwives. So instead of increasing salaries for just the doctors, we also negotiated a pay increase for the nurses and midwives. Even though the nurses did not protest, your patience and silence paid off. I know the nurses in grade 9 and above have not been given the weekly fuel sheet doctors receive. But guess what? The government has not forgotten you. Please exercise the same patience we always know you for. As a first step, the government is working towards providing bursaries for the nurses working in the regional headquarters of Bo and McKinney. I'm not making any promises now, but we are working towards it. It may not be this year, as we know it takes some time to finalize proposals and go through the laborious procurement process, but it will definitely happen. Currently, the country can only boast of one school of medicine, and their current capacity can produce only about 50 to 55 medical students a year. The government knows that this is grossly inadequate, and has therefore approved Jala University to teach medical courses. We know it takes a process, but we will get there. Achieving universal health coverage by 2030 requires the government to take radical and bold steps. And one of those steps is the massive recruitment of about 5,000 health workers in one go. This is the very first time in the history of our country, and we clap for the SLPP government. For postgraduate education, we know that having specialist nurses is a very big challenge for us as a nation. That is why we invited the Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation about 2 months ago to help improve our postgraduate education. We know the government established the University of Sierra Leone Teaching Complex, and postgraduate training is on the way. However, we are seriously challenged to take that to the heights we want it. The Buffett Foundation has agreed to fund the improvement of the postgraduate medical, nursing, and pharmacy training. We would be able to train our own specialist nurses and doctors in country without recourse to sending them overseas. We are currently finalizing the proposal, and the seed money will be available this year. With all of this, don't you think the new direction is the right direction? Paupa, we refuse to be distracted by haters of development. We remain focused, and we will overcome come 2023. Let us show our president that we appreciate him for his love for this nation. Let us vote for him again, and again. In 2019, the Demographic and Health Survey reported that the maternal mortality rate in Sierra Leone is 717 over 100,000 live births. Although that is an improvement from the 2013 figure of 1,165 over 100,000 live births, it is still very high, and one of the highest in the world. We can never be proud of that. We are aiming boldly to reduce the numbers from 717 to 300 by the year 2025. We cannot achieve this without nurses and midwives. We need you now more than ever before. As I close, I call on you, nurses and midwives, today to give your all in all to the work you do. Our sisters are dying. Our children are dying. Our mothers are dying during labor. We have a role to play. We have a responsibility
a responsibility to provide our nursing care with warmth, with love, with compassion, and with diligence. Let us save our mothers. Let us save our sisters. Let us save our children. Let us save our nation, Sierra Leone. I thank you all for listening. God bless you.
Let us give her another round of applause, please. Thank you very much.